Hi there, Facebook land and LinkedIn land and YouTube world. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim.
We're from A Teak of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woo! That doesn't get old for you, does it?
No.
We got to spend the weekend at the Star Marketing Summit.
We did.
It was fun.
It was.
Saw some people we haven't seen in a while.
We did.
And thanks for confirming that.
Keep going.
And it reminded me of why you have to go to conferences and why you need to do some of these summits.
It did.
There you go. I'm glad to know that you know those words.
Mm-hmm.
We had just finished doing training for a couple of organizations using Developing the Leader Within You.
We did.
2.0. And by the way, I prefer the workbook version of this as opposed to the regular book.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I totally agree. Because with the workbook, then you've got activities and things for them to do.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that we have found when it comes to training, and the training that we do is the more hands-on you can make it, the more interactive you can make it, the more useful I think the participants find it, because they get a chance to actually not only learn about the concepts and the ideas, but then to immediately apply them. Yes. And it reinforces it. And it's more than sitting and listening to a lecture.
Correct.
And so it gives them something to do. Most participants like that. There's always a few who they really just want to sit, and actually they don't even want to be there, but but if they are, they simply want to sit and listen, and they really don't want to do anything. And you can usually spot those folks pretty fast.
Yeah, there's a big difference between the people who voluntarily say, yes, I want to do this, and the people that are just like, oh.
I got to do this. Yeah.
And one of the people at the Star Marketing Summit yesterday was talking about the obligations that you have.
Yes. And getting rid of those.
Getting rid of the obligations. Taking a look at your calendar and literally taking off all of the obligations that you have.
Right.
And replacing them
with commitments. And he differentiated between obligations and commitments. Obligations are the things that you have to do. Commitments are the things that you want to do.
And you get to do
and you
them.
Get to do. Yes. And so that was his suggestion. Now, that sounds a little weird to some folks because they can't understand the difference. But the difference is, if you're doing things that you really like doing, it's not an obligation.
No.
You're just making a commitment to do it. But obligations are those things that you absolutely have to do. I think that ties into, and I know you didn't want to go in that direction, but we were talking about that, the Great Resignation. And how that's what's happening is there's a lot of people that realize that their lives are nothing but a giant obligation, and they are tired of that. They don't want to do that any longer. And they would rather go do things that are commitments for them, because they are the things that they want to do. I think people are starting to figure out, that 40 years in a job that you hate is not much of a life.
Well, and it goes back to the meaningfulness of it all.
Yes.
And when it comes to obligations aren't necessarily meaningful to you.
Right.
Whereas commitments are.
Yeah, those obligations are usually meaningful to somebody else.
Yes.
And that's why it's an obligation for you. That also means that you're busy building somebody else's dream rather than your own.
Yes.
And part of the way to be able to get out of those obligations and go to commitments is to do, what are we talking about today?
Personal and professional development.
Yes.
And this particular book here, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0, it's by John Maxwell, our friend and mentor.
Our friend and mentor.
It has 10 lessons on leadership and how to develop that within yourself. And lesson number 10 talks about the expansion of leadership and personal growth. And he talks about personal and professional development in there, and how important it is for people who are in leadership positions, how important it is for everybody
right.
to develop themselves personally and professionally. And it struck me, today is August 1st.
It is.
We have completed 7 months of this year.
We have.
Where are we personally and professionally? Are we where we think we should be for this part of the year? Meaning at the beginning of the year, you set some goals for yourself, either personally or professionally. Are you more than halfway complete with those goals? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the only way to really look at that is to take a look at the personal and professional growth that you've experienced over the course of the past 7 months of this year.
Which means that you've actually had to have had some
Correct.
personal and professional growth, which means you've actually had to do something. So, and we have.
Yes.
I think we're well on our way to a lot of our goals. We're behind a little bit in some areas, but I think things are about to catch up fast. But I know even like with the personal development, one of the things that I'm particularly, I guess I'd say proud of and still a little amazed about is I completed at University of Pittsburgh in the Human Resources. They have a couple of certificate programs that you can complete. And I completed one. Actually, I've completed both of those this year because the first one I did the capstone meeting
in January.
January. Yeah. And that was for global competence. Learned a few things there, but having grown up as a military brat and traveled halfway around the world and back by the time I was 18, I think I had a pretty good handle on that one to begin with. But I still picked up a few things along the way. It was a good program. Really enjoyed it. So I completed that one. And then the second one, which I find a little more interesting, is one that I just completed, just got my certificate the other day. And that was a certificate in diversity and inclusion. And what is particularly interesting about that particular accomplishment is none of these are required.
No.
So, most people, if I say that, they would say, oh, they made you do that. None of it was required. I found these and decided to go do them myself and just jumped in and these are all done at main campus and I'm at the Johnstown campus. And so the fact that I wanted to do some of these earlier, but I couldn't because all of the classes were on campus, main campus. You had to be there physically. And, I had to teach. I had classes. There was no way to do it.
And they would usually do them on Tuesdays.
They usually do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm teaching classes. And it's a series of, with both of them, it was a series of 6 classes and then a capstone. So basically 7 classes that you had to attend. And because of this is one of those things where COVID came in handy. I know it was weird. There have been some upsides, and this was one of them. They had to start offering these classes remotely, and all of a sudden I could attend. And so I did and completed that one. We had that capstone discussion in May, I think it was so. May or June, early June. And just now got the certificate. And so I now have that. So that's an interesting feather in the cap. It's not something that most finance professors, I think, are going to go do.
No.
But, I did it because I figured, one, professional development, which we have to do anyway. But number 2, just interesting. Find out some of this stuff. Find out what's going on. Find out what the thinking is behind some of what is happening. Some of it I found interesting and agreed with it. Some of it I found to be a little silly, to be quite frank about it. Some of the things that people are getting completely freaked out about, things that are so inconsequential that it just, but some of it was legit. Some of it was truly needed. Particularly stuff on sexual harassment,
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
Some of those areas, but I also find that there's a lot of people that they're just looking for reasons to be angry. A little frustrating, but overall, it was interesting.
Yes, it was. And it gave you a reason to want to focus on personal and professional development.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's like I said, it was something I just did on my own. And it's because, one of the things that we are constantly doing is looking to do, professional development. We're constantly attending classes and programs. And we just did one this weekend. Yes.
Yes. Star Marketing Summit. For those of you who have no idea what the Star Marketing Summit is, if you are a speaker, if you are a trainer, if you are a contract trainer, if you are a coach, even authors to an extent, the Star Marketing Summit happens twice a year. Sherry Prindle, good friend of ours, coordinates it and puts it all on. She's gone virtual for the past couple of years now. Prior to that, it was all face-to-face. And I know she did a couple of hybrid ones. She kind of experimented with those. This one, this past weekend, was all
virtual. Yeah, all online. Yes.
The next one that she's doing will be in January of 2023. Great way to find out what's going on out there in the world of training and speaking. A great way to enhance your own personal and professional development. Great way to network with some of the people who are doing what you're doing and to collaborate with them and to figure out how you can help each other. Because that's a big part of all of this is, hey, I do this, I do that. How can we work together and help each other grow each other's businesses? So that's one of the things that we did this past weekend.
Yep.
And it got me thinking about how important personal and professional development is. And part of the reason why is because also this year, I am the chairperson for the personal and professional development workshops for BPWPA, for business and professional women, the clubs here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And so that's part of my focus this year is to helping our members develop both personally and professionally. So it makes sense because John talks about how important personal growth is and how important this is for developing your leadership skills and developing that leadership potential that you have. And so my question to all of you is, what have you been doing this year to develop those personal and professional skills that you have? What have you done to increase the skills that you have? What classes are you taking? What courses have you taken? What conferences are you going to?
What organizations are you joining?
Yes.
That's another thing. We had a full week last week. Last week was crazy because we had the week-long program that we did with Melissa.
Yes.
And that was fun and interesting. And met some nice people there.
Yes, we did.
And then Wednesday night we were at the first.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be the first official meeting.
Yes.
For the satellite club for the Latrobe Rotary. So it looks like we are finally about to become Rotarians. And so anybody who watches this that lives in this area that might want to join a Rotary club, if you're not in a Rotary club, but you've always thought maybe I'd like to do that, we're going to have a meeting on Wednesday, August 10th at 5:30. So we're doing
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 over at the airport.
Yeah.
So come join us. Come join us. We need some more members. But it looks like it's finally going to charter.
Finally.
Finally. It's taking a long time for that to happen. And we're now going to be part of Rotary as well. So.
But that's part of personal and professional development.
Absolutely.
And that organization helps with a lot of different things. They help with water purification. They help with eradicating polio, but they also help in communities. I know They do dictionaries for the third graders here in Greater Latrobe and the Dairy school districts. They do the backpack program where they provide food over the weekends. A lot of different community outreach that Rotary does. And we're also, many of you know, we're also part of Toastmasters. And we've got a Toastmasters meeting coming up this Wednesday. So any of you,
another one on Friday.
Any of you who are interested in enhancing your speaking skills or in your leadership skills, because the motto for Toastmasters is
where leaders are made.
Yes. And
did I get that right?
You
yes.
did.
Okay.
So if you are interested in that, reach out to us. We can, our Greensburg Toastmasters Club is hybrid. We meet face to face in the Westmoreland County Courthouse there in Greensburg, but we also meet online. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We can either get you the into the courthouse, or we can send you the Zoom link and you can join us for those meetings. But it's a great way to grow personally and professionally.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there need help with their public speaking skills. A lot
yes,
of people,
they do.
A lot of people need help with doing presentations when
Yes.
you're at work and you've got a presentation coming up and you just need some feedback on your presentation skills. Forget about the content of it all. How did you do with your presentation skills? That's what Toastmasters can help you out.
Yep. We've even had people that have joined thinking they were only going to be in the club for 6 months or less because they had a big presentation coming up and they wanted some help with it. And they found they enjoyed it so much that they stuck around. So that happens often.
So keep that in mind. There are organizations out there like that can help you with your personal and professional development. And then there's a ton of trade organizations out there. That's what they do. I'm a member of ATD, the Association for Talent Development. That particular group has helped, trainers, helped speakers, helped HR professionals provide the training needed for personal and professional growth there on the job. That's part of what ATD does.
And don't forget your local Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
So we have to mention that. Otherwise, Brianna would kill us.
We're members of the Latrobe Chamber of Commerce, and the program that we've got kicking off later on this month is Leadership Greater Latrobe. We talked a little bit about that last week. If you are interested, contact Brianna there at the Latrobe Chamber of Commerce. She can let you know if there's still any openings.
We don't know at this point. I have no idea if we're full yet or not.
So,
I know we're close.
So let her know. And it's interesting because we also had a meeting with her and with Lori Douglas.
Yes.
This past week. Lori Douglas is out of the workforce development office there at Westmoreland County Community College.
Yeah.
And she works with organizations to get funding from the state through WEDNET PA. WEDNET PA has grant money available for training for companies to use to train their employees. You can get up to $2,000 in training each fiscal year. So that's
per employee, up to 50 employees.
Yes. So that's up to $100,000
yes.
Per company. And the money's out there waiting for you. Right now, there's millions of dollars sitting out there waiting for companies to use to train their employees.
When you apply, you also have to have a training program selected and set up. And so that's where
we come in handy.
You call us.
Yes.
We can walk you through the whole process and get the training that you need. We offer a wide variety of programs. Leadership, communication, teamwork, sales. We have more than that.
And customer service.
We can meet a lot of your needs. And if we can't, then we can point you in the direction of somebody that can.
Lori has access to
Lori has access to trainers.
Because there are hard skills
Yes.
that you can get training on and get reimbursed. Like I said, you got grant money out there that the state would love to give to you.
Yes.
So
you can give it to us.
So keep that in mind when it comes to growing personally and professionally. If you're looking and think, oh man, I know I need to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have the funds available right now. If you're here in Pennsylvania,
Got you covered.
there
If you're in the
could
right industry,
indeed
we got you.
be
Yes, it's
some funds
possible.
available for you.
I said, so we could give you this high quality John Maxwell world class training. I mean, this is training that is done all over the world. Literally, John Maxwell and his team go to different countries around the world. We're going to join them at some point for some of those trips.
He was just they just did an IMC over in Romania.
Yes.
And then they did another one in Paris.
They're doing one in France. Yeah. Did they do it in France already? Yeah. And then they also go to places like Dominican Republic to go there, and they take a team of people with them, and they go and conduct leadership training in these countries. I believe they're going to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Where else have they been? I mean, they've been all over the place.
They have.
And they do this for free. I mean, they don't charge people to go there. This is a part of their giving to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so this high quality training, and then there are people who pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this type of training, and you have it right here through us. We are here and we are ready to deliver.
Yeah. So if you need help with your personal or professional development, feel free to reach out to us. Where can they find us?
They can find us at atigueofyourown.com. They can also find us on LinkedIn.
Yep.
They can find us on Facebook right here. Where else?
Well, this gets streamed to YouTube.
YouTube.
However, if you're wanting to reach out to us, like I said, we're on Instagram too. We do.
Okay.
We do have a presence on there. Feel free to go to our website, atigueofyourown.com. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us. Let us know what we can do for you.
What's the phone number?
412-420-7975.
What was that again?
412-420-7975. And our email address is info@atigueofyourown.com.
What was that again?
info@atigueofyourown.com.
I think I got it.
I think you do. So feel free to reach out to us. Let us know.
Teague right there. In case you don't know how to spell that. It's like baseball league with a T instead of an L. So it's like a Teague of your own instead of a league of their own.
Because when you hire us, you get
a Teague of your own. Sometimes two of us.
Sometimes. So let us know what we can do to help you with your personal and professional development. It's important. We're over halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't done anything this year to grow,
what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? If you're not growing, what does that mean?
You're contracting. You're stagnating. As I say all the time, if you're not growing, you are contracting, relatively speaking, because the rest of the world is passing you by, and you cannot let that happen.
No. So
you cannot get to a certain point and say, "Yeah, I'm done."
No.
Because you truly are done. Because the rest of the world is going to go zipping right by you, and next thing you know, you're Kmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to Kmart?
Same with Sears.
Sears. You're Sears. It's like,
Woolworths.
Yeah. What?
Photomat. Do you remember Photomat?
I do remember Photomat.
Best Buy has closed several of their
Circuit City was the one. Circuit City.
Gone, Radio Shack.
Circuit City, yeah.
So Jeff Klein, one of our good friends, Jeff Klein, we were talking to him. He was at the Star Marketing Summit, and he was talking about one of the first interviews he ever did for a job was at Radio Shack. And he's all dressed up in a suit and a tie. And
for a job where he was working as a sweeper. I love that story. That's a good story.
It is, but Radio Shack's gone.
Yeah, they are gone
because they decided.
Hey, we've made it. Here we are, and next thing you know, you're gone.
Yeah,
and that's what happens. So that's why you have to continually grow. Keep working on
Yes.
yourself. Keep smacking. And the more you grow, the more you can offer to the rest of the world.
Exactly.
And that was another big emphasis of this past weekend is, I can't think of the number of times people saying, this group of people, you're special because you're helping the rest of the world. And that's why you need to be out there, need to be doing more, because you need to help the world as much as possible. Because let's face it, right now, the world needs the help
They do.
more than almost at any point that I can think of in my lifetime.
Well, and Katarina Rando has been on our show before. She's been a guest on here. And one of the things that she tells you is you have massive value to add to the people out there, and to go share that massive value.
The world needs you.
And that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Is you're providing that massive value to the world, to your customers, to your friends, to your family. But in order to do that, you need to continue to grow.
Right.
And so you do indeed need to focus on personal and professional development.
And we have to make up for all other people, because there's so many out there that they're not only not adding anything to the world, but they are subtracting from the world. And unfortunately, we're getting more and more of those people.
Yeah.
So the people who are adding to the world, we have to work twice as hard to make up for those folks, or at least until we can get some of them to come along. So that's it. Really, it's the way you need to think of it.
Yep. So be an adder.
Be an adder.
Add
Be
those.
an adder. Isn't that a snake?
Yes.
I think it is. But we'll go with it. Be an adder, not a subtractor.
Yeah. Be that plus sign. So let us know what we can do to add value to you. Because one of the things we do is we help people grow from where they are to where they want to be. And the way to do that is through personal and professional development. All right. So we will see you next week. In the meantime, let us know what we can do to help you, either here on Facebook, here on LinkedIn. Go to our website, atgovyourown.com, and let us know. We will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.